Thank you, Dan. Good evening once again. Steve Bruce needs a win after 5 draws in 7, and too many slow starts have hampered their progress. Often this season they've been a goal down almost before they've started. Vincent Kompany usually won here as a player with Manchester City. Another 3 points tonight, and Burnley will be top. The Baggies are without Semi Ajayi, so Taylor Gardner-Hickman comes in at right back in a reshuffled back 4. It is Button in goal. Gardner-Hickman, Bartley, O'Shea and Townsend are the back 4. O'Shea is the captain. Yakuzlu and Malumbi playing just in front of them at the base of midfield. And then Wallace, Swift and Diangana behind Grant in attack. And their new signing from Salford, Brandon Thomas Asante, is on the bench. 5 goals for him already this season, but it's a big step up from League 2 to the Championship, where there is real expectation at the Hawthorns. That's also the case at Turf Moor, but they've made a very good start under Vincent Kompany, and they could go top again tonight. Chelsea loanee Ian Matson returns after a 3-match ban, that red card against Blackpool. Johan Berg Gudmundsson is on the bench, and Coutinho will be pushed further forward. So it's Muric in goal, Roberts, Harwood, Bellis, Taylor and Matson the back 4. Muric, of course, available again despite that shoulder injury which forced him off in the win against Millwall on Tuesday. Brownhill, Cork and Cullen in midfield. Coutinho, Rodriguez and Teller in attack, and Jay Rodriguez returning to the Hawthorns, where he was such a popular figure here, and a very good partnership a few years ago with Dwight Gale, which really should have taken the Baggies back to the Premier League back in 2019. Chris Uwelamo is alongside me, and it's amazing that the transformation from Burnley, not just in terms of results, they're winning once again, they've bounced back. Well, they've had that initial bounce following relegation, but Vincent Kompany has found a way of getting the team playing, and the fans who were brought up on Dyche for so many years, they are enjoying it.
Yeah, they are. No, very pleased with what they're seeing. Very evident from the first game, wasn't it, against Huddersfield. Had all us singing the praises of Burnley. You know, the following games, maybe the wins and the points weren't put on the board, but they're a threat to a lot of teams. Teams are setting up very, very differently, parking the bus, trying to make things difficult. You've got to have the belief and the quality to go out there and play your own way, but Vincent Kompany is delighted with the progression in his team, and like you say, the fans are happy, but they're winning games at the minute. They've set the bar. It's about consistently reaching that level, because we know what the Championship's all about, Nigel.
Well, the two teams have switched around, so West Bromwich Albion will be attacking towards the Birmingham Road end, away to our left in the first half, as West Bromwich Albion choose to take the knee. The Burnley players remain on their feet, but there is applause from them and also elsewhere around the stadium, highlighting the drive for diversity and inclusivity in football and beyond. And the football weekend is underway once again across the TalkSport network, and here on the home of the EFL, it's a big game at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion will believe they should be higher up the table. Burnley could be looking down on everybody else if they can win here tonight. They are in their claret and blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks. West Bromwich Albion in their home kit, the blue and white stripes, white shorts and white socks. And Carl Bartley, playing his second game of the season after beginning on the bench, plays it forward towards this near side. Diangana with the flick in field down this near side, the West Bromwich Albion left, but in the end Malumbi is forced back towards the edge of his own penalty area, and the press from Burnley is very high and with a good deal of energy in the opening stages. But here is Diangana once again, and eventually it is played all the way back by Malumbi towards David Button, wearing bright orange, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper, defending the goal away to our right, and his long ball forward down the right is taken down well by Wallace, and now Swift with a break into the penalty area, and the shot in the end from Wallace is swept over the top, but it's an early statement of intent from West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, it's excellent play. I think down this left hand side, Grady Diangana and Townsend linking up, couldn't go forward, just keep the ball, recycle it, go through the other end. Fantastic big switch of play to Jed Wallace, and then you've got Yakuslu just underlapping, but again, awareness, Wallace coming into the box and then eventually getting that kind of shot cross into the box. But like you say, it's all about winning second balls for me tonight.
Nearly 2 minutes played at the Hawthorns on the home of the EFL TalkSport 2, 0-0. Dean Garner picks up a ball on the near side, closed down by Connor Roberts, and the Welsh international gets a toe in, but at the expense of the game's first corner.
Well, again, Kyle Bartley again starts it over in behind the high defensive line from Burnley with quality. Great little touch from Dean Garner, kept it alive, and let's say Connor Roberts defends the challenge. But this is where West Brom need to be better for me.
John Swift with the corner, high towards the far post, headed towards goal, and it was Dara O'Shea with a free header, and the hands very quickly go towards the head because the West Bromwich Albion captain knows that was a real opportunity.
Well, he's just keeping his opposition player away from him with a hand. It is a free header. It's got to hit the target at least, Nigel. You know, I know he's moving backwards. You know, to be fair, I think it's Jack Cork that's on him there. He's putting a little bit of pressure. He is falling back into him. But I think the presence and strength of Dara O'Shea there, just make sure you want the goalkeeper.
Button now with a long clearance downfield for the Baggies once again, but it's headed away by Taylor Harwood-Bellis, the youngster on loan from Manchester City. Unsurprisingly, Vincent Kompany has been squeezing his contacts both at the reigning Premier League champions and across Belgian football to bolster the squad. £75 million was brought in player sales at the end of the final Premier League season for now for Burnley, but some of that has been reinvested into the team, and I think Vincent Kompany came in and said, look, if you're not going to back me, then there is very little point in me coming, and the Burnley board have backed him. Now Harwood-Bellis brings it forward again, wide to this near side, and Vitinho on the right, and the Brazilian cuts in field. Powerful run forward from him. Brownhill quickly takes over, but the ball across the field looking for Rodriguez is cut out by Wallace, but Wallace has then been robbed by Matson and Teller. A real pair of live wires down the Burnley left, and Matson has found Teller. Teller cuts in field and plays it back again towards the edge of the penalty area, and now Josh Cullen finding the Burnley captain Jack Cork, and further back towards Charlie Taylor. And Burnley are prepared to be patient, and I'm sure under previous regimes, Chris, we would have seen that ball pumped into the area, but Burnley on this occasion looked to play it back, and now the long ball is played forward. Harwood-Bellis looking for Teller, but it's beyond him and gathered by Button.
I think it's been excellent from both teams. I think Burnley using the ball very well. Jay Rodriguez had a poor first touch, but he reacted well, went and won it back off Jed Wallace within that 3-second period. And then straight away, it was just all Burnley but possession. But what I have to say about West Brom, they defensively got into their positions and said, okay then, let's break it. And that's what it's in, that transition, Nigel, when West Brom get the ball, how quickly can they go forward, how quickly can they become expansive, but then when they lose it, boom, they all know the position, they're very compact, they're shuffling across, very, very organised. I'm very impressed with both teams at the minute, but that's definitely an outlet. You look at how high the defensive line is for Burnley, the likes of Dean Garner, Jed Wallace, that's always on, that pass is always on, and Kyle Bartley showed already on 2 occasions that he has the ability to play it.
5 minutes played, 0-0. Vincent Kompany under the baseball cap inside the Burnley technical area, just turns away and has words with Michael Jackson, who of course was in charge at the end of last season following the sacking of Sean Dyche. He made a good start but was unable to keep them in the Premier League as West Bromwich Albion come forward now. Wallace with a low ball into the penalty area, and it's blocked at the near post by Taylor, and it's gone behind for another Albion corner.
Well, I've got to say it was the excellent play. Carlin Grant there just playing in Jed Wallace first time, then there was breaking their neck to get into the edge of the box. I have to say Charlie Taylor, was an excellent block. I think the cross should come in a little bit earlier, even if it's just fire between the last defender and goalkeeper for Carlin Grant to get onto.
And the corner driven high towards the far post once again, and it was Rodriguez with the ponytail who leaps to flick the ball away to the right back area. And Connor Roberts now with a switch of play, a high ball wide to the left hand side looking for Teller, but Wallace will shepherd the ball out of play, and West Bromwich Albion will have a throw-in, and the Baggies currently 7 points worse off than at this stage last season when they made a very good start under Valerian Ismail before things really unravelled, and they eventually had their lowest finish since the year 2000. Now Dean Garner looking for the run further forward of Malumbi, but Burnley will break things out, and now Roberts plays the ball in field for Brownhill. The challenge quickly comes in from Malumbi, and Swift will break forward now. Curling shot from him, right-footed, and it's gathered comfortably by Muric.
Some of the challenges going in there from both teams. Brownhill took a sole one. Malumbi just he's on his front foot all the time. He's reading play, but just to kind of set it into the path of Carlin Grant to kind of get in there and get his shot away. I think it was Wallace, wasn't it? But excellent play, and that's what it's all about. Second ball, so important.
James Lymington is the referee, and he was in charge for Burnley's win at Huddersfield on the opening night of the Championship season. You'll have heard that game on TalkSport too. And Burnley made a good start then. Ian Matson on the ball now, scored the only goal. And they're looking to maintain an excellent start to the season here. Only one defeat so far, that came at Watford. Teller using his pace on the far side, beyond Taylor Hickman. Early cross into the area, just over the head of Rodriguez, and it's sliced away by Townsend across his own penalty area. It'll be recovered by Cork, nodded forward now on the far side by Cullen. And here is Matson again, and Burnley with a real opportunity there in the pace of Teller, already causing problems for Taylor Hickman, who is not usually deployed as a right back, but now Burnley have given the ball away themselves. Swift wide to this near side, and Diangana down the line for Swift on the left, and sliding in to make the challenge was Harwood Bellis, and Albion have a throw-in.
Yeah, I think Gardner Hickman, very mobile. I think Taylor's going to cause him a few problems, but he needs to speak.
Townsend with a high cross into the area, claimed by Muric.
Yeah, not too close to the goalkeeper there, the cross from Townsend, but Hickman has to speak to Yokuslu there, because Yokuslu's working his feet, he's stretching for it, he's heading it into a dangerous area where Gardner Hickman can just come on and actually clear the danger. So it's about communication when you're playing in that defensive position as well, and I know he's probably playing in a position like a little bit foreign to him at the minute. He has the attributes that he can do well in there, but it's all about communicating as well, Nigel, and I need more of that from him.
Well, Burnley have scored 11 times in their last 4 games after only 2 in the opening 3 games of the season. Only Sheffield United have scored more goals than Vincent Kompany's side so far, and that flurry of goals has coincided with the arrival of Jay Rodriguez in the starting lineup. 3 for him and an assist in the last 4 games, and that included his 100th league goal in the 5-1 success against Wigan, which was the first time since January of 2016 that Burnley scored 5 goals in a league game. But they've given the ball away again here. Swift coming forward for Albion down the right hand side, low towards Malumbi on the edge of the penalty area. The pass further wide to the left was behind Diangana, but he's able to check back and find Townsend. Diangana takes over once again, and he's shown the inside by Roberts, and Malumbi will play it across to the far side and Bartley, and it's further wide towards Taylor Hickman once again. The youngster's done well to come in field, plays it down the line looking for Wallace, but Wallace applauds the intention, although the pass was overhit, and it's behind for a goal kick. 10 minutes played, 0-0 here at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2. Here are the early thoughts of Chris O'Wellman.
Yeah, I think again, I think out of possession both teams are really making it difficult. I think you look at there, it was Harwood Bellis trying to fire a ball into Brownhill, but again, because the position in the areas that West Brom had taken up, very, very difficult, forced the error. Then in possession again, Burnley it was that was making it difficult down that right hand side. Gardner Hickman, great little bit of skill, comes inside, but there was no room for error for that pass to Wallace. I think he's done the hard bit. He's took his man on, he's got the better of him. Make sure there's end product, make sure there's crosses coming into the box.
Big day coming up across the TalkSport network on game day tomorrow. The Merseyside derby on TalkSport, live and exclusive to National Radio at 12:30. Rashmin Chowdhury will be in the chair along with Sam Matterface, Charlie Adam and Peter Reid. So we have all bases covered for that game at Goodison Park. Game day live with Adrian Durham with all the goals as they go in. Here on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock, Spurs against Fulham is a very tasty looking game. Dan Wendell will be your host alongside Ian Danta and Perry Groves. Then on Sunday we have Hull against Sheffield United, also from the Championship. And there's a big game coming up on Monday as well. Tony Mowbray going back to Middlesbrough with Sunderland. Full commentary on that game here on TalkSport 2. And then we have So many games coming up from the Champions League on Tuesday. TalkSport 2 at 5:45. Dynamo Zagreb against Chelsea. And then 8 o'clock on TalkSport 2, Paris Saint-Germain against Juventus, with Sevilla against Manchester City over on TalkSport. Then on Wednesday, Ajax against Rangers, 5:45 on TalkSport 2, as Albion come forward now with Karlan Grab, but the shot low into the penalty area is blocked by Taylor. It now squirts out to this near side, and Dejan Garner. Townsend finding Dejan Garner once again. That came from Bernley, once again giving the ball away in a dangerous area. Now Brownhill will clear, looking for Teller, but a strong challenge from Bartley will find Malumbi, and Burnley playing a very dangerous game with this high line.
Yeah, it was. Nathan Taylor, though, was in good possession. He's tried to play it into, I think it was Jack Corkin holding possession, but gave it straight to Karlan Grant. He's committed 2 defenders there, Karlan Grant, but he knew as soon as he received it that he wanted to get that shot away. It was the wrong decision, in my opinion. He's got to give it to Dejan Garner, who made an excellent run down the left-hand side, and he had a lot of room for error as well.
Now there is space and time for Townsend down the left-hand side for West Bromwich Albion. Cuts in field with 4 players waiting for the cross, and he's quickly robbed by Harwood Bellis, who clears long downfield looking for Rodriguez. You'll hear the Albion crowd show a roar of appreciation there, but there were 1 or 2 grumbles when Townsend didn't pick out a teammate.
Well, you have to get your head up. He's found himself in an excellent position, and he should have get his head up and pick someone out. Good defending there, but again, they're not keeping possession of the ball, Burnley. They're giving it away. You know, in that transition now, when they get their head up, you can slow it down, get those 4 or 5 passes in, and then build up as they're doing now. Jack Cork advancing.
And now Cork sprays it wide to the left-hand side, and Teller, who will try and take on Gardner Hickman, and Gardner Hickman's done well there to win the ball back under pressure and just help the ball out on the far side, and it will be a throw into Burnley, taken quickly. Now Jack Cork, 10 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Nearly 14 minutes played here at the Hawthorns. Just feels slightly autumnal this evening at the start of September. Bit of a chill in the air. There was heavy rain around an hour before kick-off, but the conditions are dry and very still now. And a decent crowd inside this stadium. Burnley have sold out their allocation, pretty much away to our right. And the Albion fans are sticking with their team despite a sticky start to the season. The only win coming here against Hull by 5-2. The only defeat against Burnley's East Lancashire rivals Blackburn, 2-1. And the other 5 games have all been drawn. But Albion have almost got through the opening 15 minutes here, which has been a dangerous period for them so far. They've conceded 4 times in the early stages of games, but not so far tonight. Now Vitinho with a nutmeg on Townsend to find Brownhill on this near side, the right, low towards the edge of the area, seeking out Jay Rodriguez. It's cleared as far as Cork. He clips it wide to Matson, the Chelsea youngster. Now Cullen, and there looks to be a very good balance to this Burnley team, and they manage to maintain possession. Harwood Bellis wide to this near side, and Vitinho quickly challenged by Dejan Garner, who implores the officials to give him a throw-in, but in the end it goes Burnley's way.
You know what, the way that Burnley move it, with pace, and they've got Brownhill, who's just asking that. He's finding himself in the pocket, just asking the question in behind. They had opportunity to play it. It's a high defensive line from West Brom as well.
Both teams looking to win that battle of midfield at the moment, and maybe leaving themselves vulnerable to a decent ball played over the top, because both teams have got the pace to exploit that.
Yeah, definitely, but I think it is a statement of intent from both. You have to go and win those battles, you have to be on your front foot, and the defenders know that, so when they push a little bit higher, then the midfielders can get a little bit closer to their opposition.
Matson and Teller again showing a good understanding down the left, and Matson tries to turn in field, and he's been caught by Gardner Hickman, and it will be a free kick for Burnley just outside the penalty area, almost on the byline down their left-hand side.
Yeah, it was very good play there, wasn't it, from Matson when he's brought it back. I think there is contact from the Gardner Hickman challenge, but like you say, it was would I say it was controlled. He kind of threw himself to floor there, but excellent play from Burnley down that left-hand side.
And it's a free kick which Josh Brownhill is over. Harwood Bellis is forward from the back, high towards the far post and headed over the top, but there was some pushing going on. It was Vitinho with the header, but the whistle went before the ball arrived on his head.
Well, for him to be as free as that, the referee must be positioned. I'm waiting to look at the monitor. If I was, to be fair, I don't know what Connor Townsend's doing. He's facing him up, and then he's turning it. He's actually not done anything. It was the foul was made by Rodriguez there.
And there's warm applause for one of the new signings for West Bromwich Albion, Brandon Thomas Asante, who is currently warming up just in front of us. £300,000 from Salford. Has a very good goal-scoring record in the lower divisions and non-league, and Steve Bruce has given an opportunity to a player who is working their way up the leagues. Now Townsend has given the ball straight to Vitinho. Rodriguez finding Roberts, now Cork striding away from Malumbi, and Brownhill plays it wide towards Rodriguez on the Burnley right, further wide to Vitinho, high cross to the far post, headed away by Wallace but gathered by Matson. I'm not sure that Wallace knew he was there. Now Cullen with a cross towards the near post, glanced on by Rodriguez and comfortably saved by Button.
Oh, it's excellent players. Again, I think Jed Wallace has to put his head through it and just clear the area there rather than just helping it on. Worst case scenario, it was out for a throw-in, but Matson was there. Ball coming in, J. Rodriguez is always going to be on the move, and he gets there first, glances it towards goal. So it was great play from J. Rod.
And here he is once again, now at the veteran stage of his career, but somebody who earns his place in the team on merit.
Yeah, I just think Yokuslu has to move the ball a little bit quicker. You know, you take a touch, you have to have a kind of...
Are Yokuslu and Malumbi maybe too similar?
Oh, they are similar, but like you say, they're mobile, they can get around the pitch, they can put in challenges, and they're both decent footballers. I just feel that you have to have that intent. As soon as you get it, you know where it's going, and there, J. Rodriguez was on the back of Yokuslu because taking not too many touches, but too much time to make that decision.
And we have two clubs here who had lengthy spells in the Premier League, got themselves established and were then relegated, and it can often be hard to get back. Of course, West Bromwich Albion did briefly, but the season when football was behind closed doors rather passed them by in terms of quality, and they came straight back to the Championship and finished 10th last season when the Larry and Ishmael project simply didn't work, and Steve Bruce had to pick up the pieces late in the season. And there has been a change in approach, and in players like John Swift and Jed Wallace, they have signed crowd pleasers, players who like to get the ball down and try and attack, and they'll be disappointed so far that they've only picked up one win in 7 games. But the flip side of that is only one defeat, as Grant has it on this near side. Back towards Townsend. Now Grant again. Vitinho is very close to him, and Dion Garner has to trot across to the left-hand side to create the option. Now Carl Bartlett finding Gardner Hickman, and Gardner Hickman has worked the opening here, but his cross high to the far post will eventually find Townsend, and the shot from him, a volley, as the ball dropped out of the sky, is shovelled away by Muric, and the goalkeeper maybe saw that late, and he was happy just to get the ball behind for a corner.
Well, again, Gardner Hickman causing all sorts of problems down that right-hand side, linking up very well with Wallace, and I think he done everything right with this cross. You know, he just felt it, looping one, and I think Connor Townsend just tries to make sure that he hits the target there. You know, does he go with laces and power and maybe not have that?
Corner high to the far post, Carl Bartley with the header, and it's off the top of the crossbar. So far, West Bromwich Albion have had an aerial domination in that sort of area. Once again, it was a central defender on the end of the corner, and this time it clatters against the woodwork.
It's an outstanding header, isn't it, Nigel? You know, just felt it back where it came from. Goalkeeper was grounded, he was rooted, wasn't it? If that just steps under the crossbar, you know, there's not even a defender on the back post to come and clear the danger there. Very unlucky.
Well, Carl Bartley has not scored since last October, but he was close to ending that run there. 21 minutes played on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, and it's goalless here at the Hawthorns, but West Bromwich Albion creating the better opportunities so far. Burnley have had the highest average possession in the Championship so far this season, over 68%, which is a real change to what we've seen before, as Harwood-Bellis pops the ball wide to this near side. The crowd on this near side believed the ball had gone out of play before it was controlled by Connor Roberts, but play is allowed to continue, and Maatsen charges forward again down the left-hand side. And when he does that, Cullen just fills in behind him on the left, and Charlie Taylor also has the ability to play in that wider area. Of course, started his career as a left-back, and may well end up there again when Ian Maatsen eventually moves on at the end of the season. Now Cullen, a high ball forward, nodded infield by Bartley, and it's picked up by Taylor. Brilliant pace from him into the penalty area, and the shot whistles just wide with David Button beaten.
Well, it was an excellent, he read the game well. He's on the front foot. The header, I think, from Gardner Hickman comes inside. Never knew a lot about it. He takes it on his chest. Great second touch as well. It just opens the complete goal up. And if anything, he struck it well. He's probably snapped at it because the challenge is going to be coming in from Dara O'Shea there, but wasn't far away at all.
Almost given away again by West Brom on the edge of the penalty area, but O'Shea is able to evade Vitinho and play it forward, but Roberts slides into Rob Diangana, but then Burnley give the ball away themselves. Swift back towards Malumbi, and now down the line for Wallace, who is in space down the right, and he's quick enough to keep the ball in play. Great cross into the near post, fisted away by Muric, who was under severe pressure from Grant. And it's thrilling football from both teams.
Well, for me, that should be in the back of the net. Grant pulled out of that. I don't understand why he pulled out of that. I'm looking at that there. It is an excellent ball. So you make a decision when that ball's coming across. I can get to the ball first, and I'm going to take a sore one. And I didn't like what I seen there, because Jed Wallace broke his neck to get there. He put an excellent cross in with pace as well. Grant, it would have been 50-50 coming to the ball, but if you pull out of that, you've got more chance of getting hot there. Callum Grant's got to put his head on that, for me. And he does. If he gets a touch of that, that's going in the back of the net. Yeah, he's going to probably take a throw one, because Muric is coming out.
He was maybe blocked off by Harwood-Bellis as well, possibly.
We'll see it. But I don't see, when he staggers his run and stops, I don't want to see that. Go put your head in the ball, back of the net.
Well, Harry Muric has been the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. Had a very difficult debut in English football when he was on loan at Nottingham Forest against West Bromwich Albion 3 years ago, as Diangana comes forward again now into the penalty area. Good defending by Vitinho, just out muscles him and then finds Harwood-Bellis. His high ball forward though is headed back by Malumbi. Harwood-Bellis is there again, but here is Townsend just in front of us on the left hand side. Now Grant. Vitinho makes the challenge back towards Connor Roberts. Roberts does well to dig the ball out. High ball over the head of Dara O'Shea, who gets there before Jay Rodriguez. Controls on the chest and plays it back to David Button. But Muric made his debut for Nottingham Forest against West Brom. He allowed the opening goal to slip through his hands and then was beaten by a cross from Matt Phillips out on the halfway line, which drifted over his head, and very quickly he was out of the team at the City Ground. But he'll be hoping for a more sustained spell of first team action for Burnley. Now he's made the move from Manchester City, but he does have that shoulder injury which forced him off against Millwall on Tuesday, and you just wonder whether he is 100% fit. With 25 minutes played here at the Hawthorns, 0-0, as it's driven forward by Cullen towards this near side, and Vitinho does well to keep the ball in play. Cork with a burst forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Brownhill. All this happening wide on the Burnley right. Roberts takes over, and it's square again towards the fair-haired Taylor. Of course, both Ben Mee and James Tarkowski departed Burnley on free transfers at the end of last season. Now Townsend for West Bromwich Albion, finding Grant, who's able to split away from the challenge of Harwood-Bellis, and he's got support from Yakuzlu, and it's laid wide to the right hand side. Gardner Hickman with the early cross into the penalty area, headed away by Taylor, and then Malumbi heads it in field, but It's launched clear by Brownhill, wide to the far side. Teller was the target, but it's over his shoulder and out of play for a throw-in.
Well, I have to say, excellent from West Brom again, down this left-hand side. Townsend firing it into Grant, ball sticks, does it, great touch, good awareness. I think he can turn and drive at that defence himself. He leaves it for Yokuslo, who puts the ball out. And again, the quality coming in from Hickman, Gardner Hickman has been excellent. There just needs more bodies in the box.
Now Wallace wins it back from Cullen on the far side, and Gardner Hickman with the opportunity to move forward once again, and it's played infield to Swift. Swift is challenged, but it breaks kindly for West Bromwich Albion. Wallace with the cross, Grant rising for the header, but it's cleared by Harwood Bellis. Now Diang down this near side. Diangana takes over. Diangana tries to deliver the cross low into the penalty area. He does so. Back to Diangana, who tries to shape it right-footed, and it gets right underneath it, and it's high over the top.
You know, I think if he read this first cross coming in, I think he could probably take it on first time. He then controlled it well, kept possession, trying to just create that yard to get the cross in. Linking up with John Swift, it was always going to be a difficult one to try and get your foot around that with accuracy as well. A lot of bodies in front of you, you know, but again, good imagination. Just never had the quality to carry it out there.
Grady Diangana scored the goal in defeat at Blackburn. As a long ball is played forward for Burnley. It's taken down by Teller. Teller's taken down by Button. It's a penalty to Burnley, and this could be real trouble for David Button, and it's a yellow card in the end for the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. A high ball played forward, and the high line caught out for West Bromwich Albion. Teller brought it down brilliantly. He was taken up by Button inside the area, and Burnley have the penalty.
Well, I've had to look at this. When you look at the player's reaction, I thought it was a penalty straight away, but it's a great long ball. I need to see it on the monitor. I thought he got contact with the ball, so I'm just having to make sure now. He got the ball. He got the ball. So it shouldn't really be a penalty, should it?
Oh, how much of the ball did he get?
He got the ball. He got the ball. Is there any contact to tell him? I'm just waiting to. He got the ball.
A tiny touch on the ball,
and then the toe of Taylor. So that's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Taylor's not going to get on under the ball. Button's made contact with the ball, so it's a genuine attempt for the ball that he's made contact with, and then it's the process of momentum that then takes the toe of Taylor.
Jay Rodriguez has not scored in 10 previous appearances against West Bromwich Albion, but he will take the penalty here against one of his former clubs, against David Button, who remains on the field following the penalty award. A big call from James Liddington. It's Rodriguez against Button. Rodriguez steps up and he makes no mistake, and for the first time in his career, Jay Rodriguez scores against West Bromwich Albion, and that could be enough to send Burnley top of the Championship. It's a calm penalty, no celebration from Rodriguez, but the fans are loving it. It's West Bromwich Albion 0, Burnley 1.
Well, it's an excellent penalty, isn't it? You know, composed, and like you say, just waiting for the goalkeeper, waiting for Button to move there. Not in the corner, just off centre to the right hand side, but keeper was already sold. Excellent penalty there, composure.
And we welcome listeners from TalkSport to the Hawthorns, where Burnley have just taken the lead against West Bromwich Albion. Jay Rodriguez scoring against his former club, but it's a controversial penalty award. A long ball played forward. Nathan Teller was onside, and he clashed with David Button, the goalkeeper, on the edge of the penalty area. The replay showed that Button just got a toe on the ball before he clattered into Teller. It was a yellow card for the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. Rodriguez scored the penalty, and Burnley, in a match which will see them go top of the table if they win, are a goal ahead and possibly against the run of play. Chris O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I have to say it is against the run of play. I think both teams have been excellent without it. For me, it's a hard one. You know, David Button makes contact.
Of course, no VAR, so the referee gets one look from a long way away.
Yeah, he does, but to be fair, he was running. He was up to his play, he was seeing it from behind. There's definitely contact on Taylor. That's what he's seen. But there's definitely contact with Button that he's made on the ball there. So it's a difficult one. It's probably not, even if VAR was there, is it going to be... is it going to correct a clear and obvious error from the referee, because some will see it as a penalty kick, with the contact that was made, but I think West Brom have been excellent again in the attacking third, just not been clinical enough. Chances, had the better of the chances, but the same old story. But here we go again, West Brom.
Wallace coming forward now for West Brom, looking for the instant response down the right hand side. He breaks into the penalty area, fires it in low towards the near post, and it's turned behind by Muric for a corner.
Oh, excellent from Jed Wallace, had a lot to do, beats his man, comes inside, opens up the goal, but goes near post. Muric is up to the challenge, got down with both hands there to steer it wide for a corner kick, but excellent play from Wallace down that right hand side. You know, there's always quality coming in, crosses. Him and Gardner Hickman are definitely linking up well.
Swift with the corner, high towards the far post, headed away by Cork, controlled by Malumbi. He fires in the shot, right-footed, and it's some way wide. Commentary continues on TalkSport 2 at the Hawthorns. It is West Bromwich Albion 0, Burnley 1. And that spell of pressure for West Bromwich Albion comes to nothing, and they are winless in their previous 22 championship games, in which they conceded the opening goal and they lost 14 of them, and they are a goal down here. Here is the goal scorer, Jay Rodriguez, clips it over the top. It's that ball looking for Teller, and they were wide open once again.
No, they were, but I think that's information that's been put to them. You know, make sure it's a high line to try and force that high press as well. But like you say, if you're not going to be in the faces of the back four.
Here's Wallace down the right, high cross to the far post is overhit. Diangana will keep the ball in play, has support from Townsend. Diangana will take on Vitinho, throws a couple of shapes, breaks into the penalty area. Low cross is cleared by Cork. Now Malumbi for Albion. Yakuzlu back towards Dara O'Shea. Good ball from him, wide to Diangana down the left. First time cross, high to the far post, beyond everybody. 2 bounces out of play for a throw into Burnley, who lead here with 12 minutes to play in the first half on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I can understand Diangana, what he was trying to do there, just trying to give it a little bit of a punch across, because Carlin Grant had just found himself between both centre backs here in a bit of space, put a little bit too much on it, a little bit too high as well. But Malumbu again, just he's winning all those second balls. He needs a little bit more quality in his distribution. For me, had an opportunity to work Muric in goal there, but the shot never came to anything high and wide.
I'm sure the penalty will come under great discussion during half-time with Dan Chris, but the nature of the challenge from Button, you could say it's reckless, and
it's not reckless. He's made contact with the ball,
but he also took a lot of Teller out, didn't he?
It was just the toe. It was so as his right foot is grounded, the toe, the right foot of Teller.
Here is Madsen now with a low cross in from the left-hand side, and the ball is blocked by Gardner Hickman. The ball actually hits the corner flag on the far side, so it will be a throw-in, but West Bromwich Albion are wide open down that far side, the Burnley left, whenever Teller and Madsen get on the ball, and now Teller has the ball again. He claims he was wrestled to the ground. I think the dramatic manner of the fall may have cost him a free kick there, because he was being held.
Yeah, you know what, I think it was a free kick. I think the referee's got that one wrong. But, you know, I think Gardner Hickman in that relationship with Jed Wallace, he's trying to go up and be creative, and it's down to someone taking Yakuzlu, dropping into that position. You know, Dara O'Shea or Kyle Bartley just shove, like what Burnley are doing. You know, when Mattson's bombing forward, like you say, it's Taylor that's coming across, and Cullen is just filling that space, just taking responsibility of where the kind of danger may come from.
And Burnley undefeated in 14 games when they've scored the opening goal, and they are winning here tonight with 10 minutes to play in the first half on TalkSport 2, and the goal coming at a time when West Bromwich Albion were building some pressure, but they concede a free kick here. A challenge on John Swift.
Yeah, I think he knew exactly what he was doing there, John Swift. You know, I think I'll have to see it again. If it's a high foot, the referee was positioned well. That's a yellow card. I don't understand. Jack Cork's got him Swift on the right knee. I'm sure, it's coming.
Yeah, he's been booked,
Yeah, because Jack the referee was in a perfect position there. A little bit of a naughty one for Jack Cork. Good bit of skill from Swift.
But it's a free kick for Albion. Midway inside the Burnley half, right of centre. John Swift is over it. And of course he provided so many assists for a struggling Reading team last season. 13 in total and 11 goals as well. And it's no surprise that when his contract expired, he was highly prized across the Championship and beyond. Swift with the free kick into the penalty area at the far post. Townsend with the header, but he was off balance, and as a result the ball looped harmlessly over the top.
It's another massive opportunity. Nigel Swift with an excellent ball, and I think the first one should be made contact. I don't understand. I think is it Taylor pulling there's not a lot in it, but I think Connor Townsend seen that all the way. You've either got to just try and get your head round it and put it back into the danger area, or make sure that it's slow and hard. You can't try and feel it into the back end of Murit's goal there.
But you feel Albion here need a goal fairly quickly. The crowd have been with them so far tonight, but I'm sure that many of them will have been watching the penalty incident on their phones or getting information from friends and family at home to suggest they may have been unlucky, as Steve Bruce stands there just outside the West Bromwich Albion technical area. Lovely turn from Yakuzlu, and it's played wide to the left, and Townsend has got Diangana in support. Townsend with the cross into the area, headed away by a flying Charlie Taylor, but the ball rather hit him on the side of the head, so it's back towards Diangana. Now Townsend with a low ball in towards the near post, and it's flicked away, and there's an opportunity for Malumbi to try and turn. Then Yakuzlu slides in to win it back. Swift again finding Diangana just in front of us. He will try and take on Roberts. Tries the nutmeg, which doesn't come off, but now Yakuzlu plays it back in field to Dara O'Shea. High into the area looking for Diangana, who was around the back, but the ball was overhit, and it's a goal kick, and we have 7 minutes to play in the first half on TalkSport 2, and Burnley a goal ahead.
Well, I think that's it. I've got to say, I'm looking at that play there. I thought Diangana, it was an excellent run. It wasn't a bad ball. You know, I think Diangana, he's allowing the ball to bounce, whereas if he's on his front foot, he can actually take that across. I think it was Taylor Bellis, was it? Harwood Bellis, sorry. And he's I think he can take it across and into the path of the goal there and actually get an opportunity, but he's just got to be on his front foot. Excellent run. I thought it was an excellent pass, but be aware, be alive to it.
Now a powerful run forward from Malumbi on this near side, and Connor Roberts in the battle of the two number 14s is just happy to play it safe, and one of his yellow boots just snakes out to bobble the ball out of play, and it will be a throw in to West Bromwich Albion on this near side. Burnley a goal up, and that would be enough to take them top of the table before the programme tomorrow. Now O'Shea finding Bartley, and the ball from Bartley is short to the far side looking for Wallace, and it's cut out by Teller, and Burnley quickly turned defence into attack, but Bartley redeems the earlier error by blocking the cross from Teller, and Burnley only have a throw-in. But some of their football, Chris, is very pleasing on the eye.
Yes, it is. You know, I think just the anticipation there from Nathan Teller on the front foot, just cutting out a poor pass from Bartley. He's got to fire it and punch it in to Gardner Hickman there. But like you say, bodies breaking the neck to get up and support Teller as well. Just that final distribution, that final little bit of quality, and that attacking right channel just never paid off from there.
Now Cullen finding Maatsen tight to the touchline down the left, and Maatsen now will try and break forward, fed by Rodriguez, and again it's good pressure from Burnley. Every time they lose the ball, they are very quickly working hard to win it back and forcing West Bromwich Albion to clear, and all Gardner Hickman could do on this occasion was just knock the ball out of play by a corner flag, and Burnley have a throw-in. They quickly play it back to the centre circle, and there is space and time here for Harwood Bellis to bring it forward and find Brownhill. Now Batinho takes over down the right-hand side, and he wriggles away from the challenge of Townsend, and Batinho is eventually looking for support, almost gets his feet in a tangle, but Diangana will make the challenge, and Burnley have another throw-in on this near side, which Connor Roberts will take, and fitness permitting he'll be part of the Wales squad at the World Cup, and there will be all the coverage you require across the TalkSport network from Qatar later on this season as part of our more than 450 games across the TalkSport network coming up this season. And we have a big start to the day tomorrow with the Merseyside derby on game day at 12:30. And on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock, it is Spurs against Fulham. Hull against Sheffield United is a big game in the Championship, 3 o'clock on Sunday. So too, 8 o'clock on Monday, Middlesbrough against Sunderland. And then on Tuesday, 5:45 on TalkSport 2, Dynamo Zagreb against Chelsea. Sevilla, Manchester City will be on TalkSport at 8 o'clock with Paris Saint-Germain against Juve here on TalkSport 2. Ajax Rangers on Wednesday, 5:45 on TalkSport 2. We'll have coverage of other major ties on both TalkSport and TalkSport 2 later on that evening. And on TalkSport at 5:45 on Thursday, the Europa League begins for Arsenal away to FC Zurich. And this time next week, we'll be live at Turf Moor for Burnley against Norwich, another big game in the Championship, and we'll do it all again. As a free kick has been given to West Bromwich Albion, Karlan Grant taken down by Harwood Bellis, and West Brom have had a number of free kicks in these sorts of areas and have done very little with them so far.
Yeah, you know what, and it's been good quality as well from the free kicks. You know, I think it can be attacked better, so that there can't be any excuses here. Very high defensive line from Burnley again.
Swift with the free kick, high to the far post, not across the face of goal, and then Dara O'Shea 6 yards out with a free header straight at Ari Muric.
Well, that's an excellent chance, isn't it? Another excellent ball from Swift. You know, it's Dara O'Shea. It's like Yukuslu that wins the original header, puts it right in on the money. Dara O'Shea just has to, straight at Muric there. Has to be at one of the sides. He has to, he's got that much time to think about it there, Nigel. You know, maybe he has to generate the power because it's the power's not on that the flick down from Yukuslu there. But it has to be in the back of the net. That's far too easy.
Well, as a goal-scoring central defender, as he was, Steve Bruce was head in hands there as another opportunity goes begging. And West Brom have had 10 efforts on goal so far in the first half, only 3 of them on target. But here's an opportunity for Wallace. Great pace into the penalty area with a shot between the legs of Muric and off the near post. Now Malumbi has got support from Dean Garner, edge of the penalty area. Left foot shot from him is blocked. Gardner-Hickman takes over. Grant with a driven ball in, somehow evades everybody. 2 Burnley players missed their kick, and it's a throw-in on this near side. And although the ball passed between the legs of Muric there, he maybe just got a touch on that to divert the ball onto the near post.
Well, it's an excellent save. Jed Wallace, fantastic run, takes his man on, gets the better of him, and like you say, just hits the target. Muric with a great little hand, it puts it onto the post, and it could have went anywhere. Bounces back out, but excellent save.
Now Swift, 25 yards out, challenged by Brownhill. Bartley takes over the central defender, looking to stride forward. He's given the ball away, and Rodriguez quickly plays the ball forward for Teller. Teller breaking on goal now down the left-hand side, all the way, and the shot in the end is blocked by the legs of Button. Teller actually ends up having to vault the hoardings, and he was almost in the Burnley fans there, but he'll believe he should have made it 2-0.
We talked about David Button there. He has to come and just claim that. He's always going to be the number one to get on the end of that there. But again, that doubt was in his head with Taylor running at full pelt towards him. But he's got to come out, make that decision. He's backed up, he's got the save in. Here we go again.
An opportunity for Grant inside the penalty area. A long ball played forward. It was Charlie Taylor who slid in to make an excellent challenge, and West Brom have another corner.
Well, I have to say it was an excellent ball from Gardner-Hickman again to Karlan Grant. Charlie Taylor, what a he had to get a hand on it though. If he doesn't get a hand on that, I'm just looking at it on the monitor, Muric save there, it's going into the bottom right hand corner of the goal from Jed Wallace's shot.
Corner kick driven in, headed away at the near post by Maatsen. And we're into 2 added minutes at the end of the first half here. Burnley leading by a goal to 0, but they've had 1 or 2 dicey moments late in the opening 45 minutes. Now a cross is driven in by Swift, and it's blocked by Maatsen, and Teller gathers once again for Burnley down the left hand side. Rodriguez is sprinting forward in support down the centre, so too is Vitinho. The cross though headed away at the near post by Townsend, and it's played wide by Malumbi towards the right. And West Bromwich Albion are so vulnerable to the pace of Teller on the counter-attack, as Grant does well to ride a couple of challenges, then runs into Connor Roberts, and Connor Roberts is in trouble here very quickly. He goes down in some pain, clutching his right foot. He's not happy at the nature of the challenge, and then Malumbi has words with him, and Roberts not happy about the verbals either. Malumbi is pulled away from that, but Connor Roberts will receive some treatment.
Well, this is a strong challenge from both, a fair challenge. I think there is...
Oh, that's a metatarsal breaker, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what?
Foot on foot.
It's foot on foot, isn't it? But then, when he's reacted to Malumbu standing over him, he's actually planted both feet on the ground and actually reacted. So, yeah, you could definitely feel that both went to compete for the ball. Like you say, the ball was there. They both contacted, then the both collision, foot on foot. I think Roberts' foot has came around and gave way a little bit, but I'll be surprised if he can't carry on. You know, the way that Malumbu's stood over him, I think, is a little bit uncalled for, but then the reaction of Roberts on the floor, he's actually planted both feet to kind of come up and have a go at Roberts. That says to me that there's nothing wrong with you.
Well, he's having treatment now, Connor Roberts.
Well, not one of the physios is even touching his ankle there, so he's obviously said to them that he's okay.
Well, Roberts, of course, had a long spell out injured when he joined Burnley from Swansea. The injury occurred in the European Championships when Wales went out against Denmark in Amsterdam. So we are beyond the 2 minutes of added time, but we'll have just a bit more here in the first half at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2, with Burnley leading by a goal to nil, but Roberts is hobbling across to this near side, and fair play to Carlin Grant. He goes over and says, sorry about that, mate, and Connor Roberts says no hard feelings.
Yeah, they both went. You know, it was a genuine attempt for the ball for both. I think Connor Roberts, his ankle did just open up a little bit, so if anything, it'll be...
and now he jogs across to this near side, and the home crowd don't appreciate that, and Bobby Madley just comes over to have a few words with him. Maybe sensible for Burnley to keep Roberts off the field until the half-time whistle goes, but he will return rather gingerly initially, and I think Connor Roberts will become public enemy number one amongst the West Bromwich Albion fans for the remainder of this game. But now Roberts sees Dejan Garner running away from him on this near side. The low ball in towards Swift on the left corner of the penalty area. Townsend again finding Dejan Garner. Dejan Garner's low ball across, though, is cleared away by Harwood Bellis, and that's half-time. Lively stuff here at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion with the bulk of the chances, but Burnley with the only goal. A penalty scored by Jay Rodriguez against his former club after Nathan Teller was caught by David Button. Button, as replays showed, did get something on the ball before he clattered into Teller, but the penalty was given, a yellow card for the goalkeeper, and at half-time it is West Bromwich Albion 0, Burnley 1. If it stays like this, the Clarets will be top. Thank you, Dan, and it's Burnley who will get the second half underway, attacking the Birmingham Road end, away to our left in their claret and blue shirts. West Bromwich Albion in the blue and white stripes. Burnley leading by a goal to nil. If it stays like this, the Clarets will be top of the table, and Vincent Kompany's excellent start to life in management in English football would continue. And the pressure, we have to say, would be building on Steve Bruce. It would be only one win in 8 games to start the season. Burnley have a free kick in the opening seconds of the second half on this near side, and so much for them has come down their left, and they'll try again now as Teller turns away from Gardner-Hickman, but then Teller tries one trick too many, gets his feet in a tangle, and it's out of play for a goal kick.
Well, there straight away it was a strong challenge from Kyle Bartley on Teller, and it wasn't a free kick. He's one ball, he just put his foot around Teller and made contact. I was surprised at that, but like you say, the referee is giving it, and again, great little bit of skill from Teller as well to take Gardner-Hickman to the line, but then the second touch just let him down there.
Look, there'll be reasons why Nathan Teller isn't playing for Southampton, but you look at him playing, you look at his pace, and you wonder why he's not playing for Southampton.
Yeah, he's a threat, isn't he? I think intelligent runs in behind as well. If he's given the right service, he's going to always cause lots of problems. It definitely gives the defensive line something to think about as well.
West Brom looking to move forward now themselves, but the ball in the direction of Carlin Grant is cut out by Charlie Taylor, but he's then quickly closed down on this near side by Dean Garner. Dean Garner showing some real appetite for work there to win the ball back. He then goes down as he's challenged by Cullen, and the ball is eventually hoofed out of play by Bernley, and it will be a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion. They were looking for more than that. A reminder of their team: Button in goal, the back four: Gardner, Hickman, Bartley, O'Shea and Townsend, Yakuzlu and Malumbi in midfield, Wallace, Swift and Dean Garner behind Grant. Burnley, Muric in goal, Roberts, Harwood, Bellis, Taylor and Matts in the back four, Brownhill, Cork and Cullen, Coutinho, Rodriguez and Teller. And Teller has been a central figure, and he's now crumpled to the turf on this near side. Judge Wallace is encouraging him to get up very quickly.
Yeah, it was just a challenge on Gardner Hickman there. It was just a clash of knees, and trust me, Nigel, it's a painful thing, that.
Hooked forward by Yakuzlu, headed away by Taylor on this near side. Now Matson, and he's another player who looks very accomplished and capable of stepping up. Of course, he's been in the Championship for a couple of years now, had a very good spell with Coventry last season, as Chelsea's production line of young loanees continues to offload in the Championship to very great effect. And we played 3 minutes in the second half here at the Hawthorns. Burnley leading by a goal to nil, only one win in 12 previous visits. That came back in March of 2018 when West Bromwich Albion were sliding out of the Premier League. The last meeting here was an utterly forgettable 0-0 draw behind closed doors in October of 2020. But there is real history between these two, both founder members of the Football League, as Nathan Teller is fouled by Carl Bartley, and it will be a free kick once again.
Fascinating watching Vincent Kompany now, instructions coming on all the time, forcing them to play forward. You know, you can see frustration when they play side to side at the back, because he wants it with pace going through the thirds. You know, don't pass up that opportunity when it presents itself. When it's Cullen, Cork or Brownhill showing for you, give them the ball. No matter how tightly they're marshalled, give them the ball. Always communicating, shouting on.
Now it's been given away by Harwood Bellis, and Townsend charging forward, and a quick challenge on the far side on Dean Garner, but a free kick's been given and a yellow card will be shown against Harwood Bellis.
I just don't think he has to go to ground so cheaply there. You know, I think he's made it easy. Dean Garner's going to get there first, so just make sure you get in his face, force him back.
Jockey.
Yeah, make him think. But if you, as soon as you slide, he just moves the ball, and it's a silly yellow card to take.
So Harwood Bellis joins Jack Cork in the book as far as Burnley are concerned. David Button, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper, was booked in the incident which led to the penalty scored by Jay Rodriguez on the half hour. But a free kick here for West Bromwich Albion. John Swift is over it on the far side, right-footed, high towards the penalty spot, headed away at the near post. Now Wallace urged to shoot by the crowd, but it's wide to Gardner Hickman. High cross to the far post. Muric comes and he claims he was caught in the act of claiming that, but he's quickly back to his feet. But there is a West Bromwich Albion player who was down injured inside the penalty area.
That O'Shea, is it? So I think he was brave anyway. Yeah, he just had to go and challenge. Muric come out. I thought the ball was a little bit too close to the Burnley goalkeeper there. It's an easy one for him, but like you say, the bravery of Tari O'Shea, was up competitive, but he was never winning it. But good quality coming in from Swift. You know, I think that high defensive line from Burnley, especially from those free kicks, I understand why they're trying to kind of push the line of the attacking line of West Brom out. But with the quality of Swift, it's causing too many problems. You have to go and make sure you win that first header.
And Vincent Kompany is now giving both Jay Rodriguez and Nathan Teller some very precise instructions on this near side. Of course, he's been on the receiving end of bon mots throughout his career from managers like Pep Guardiola, so he should know how to deliver it now and how to get the best out of his players.
Yeah, he'll take the bits that he wants out of the, I guess, the guardianship that he's had himself. But like you say, always talking, and it's sometimes it can be a little bit annoying because at the minute, you know, they're winning the game, they're leading. But again, it keeps just the players on their toes, especially down that side. I think when you go over the other side, you get a little bit of a break from it.
Now Roberts nips in to rob Diangana, but West Brom quickly win it back. Then Roberts slides in once again. Clearly no ill effects from that challenge late in the first half from Karlan Grant, but Burnley now try and bring it forward themselves now on the far side with Maatsen, and Connor Roberts has got some support here, and it's quickly played further on by Cullen towards Maatsen, and Burnley here have continued to play with a really good balance throughout this game, and as a result it's often difficult for West Bromwich Albion to really impose themselves on the game. Here is Vitinho, infield to Cork once again. Vitinho was seeking out Jay Rodriguez, but Carl Bartley steps in. It's a high ball launched over the top, and when that happens for West Brom, often Karlan Grant is the only player going forward. When it happens for Burnley, they've got two or three really hunting in packs.
Yeah, I think the Karlan Grant he's coming off the defensive line of Burnley to try and create space where he can receive it. So that ball in behind has to be for the likes of Diangana, has to be for the likes of Jed Wallace, but that transition it has to be better quality coming from back to front.
Coutinho's cross has been charged down, spins into the path of Harwood Bellis, low to Jay Rodriguez, who helps it on for Teller, and now Maatsen back towards Jay Rodriguez with a left-footed shot, but he was quickly closed down as he hit it, so as a result it lacked power and direction, and Button makes a comfortable save.
Well, I've got to say, Taylor, Rodriguez and Maatsen linking up very well. I think Maatsen should get the shot away. I think going back to Rodriguez there, or take your man on in that 1v1 scenario, you're in the 18-yard box.
Now Brownhill brings it down 25 yards out of Veja Kuzlu, but then slips, and O'Shea can drive forward now for West Bromwich Albion. Infield towards Swift. He's got support on his outside from Diangana on the left. Further forward is Townsend, but it's infield to Malumbi on the edge of the penalty area. The challenge comes in from Teller, and now it's Maatsen who strides clear for Burnley. Some pace from him down the left. Rodriguez peels away to the right-hand side, but the pass was overhit, and Rodriguez won't keep that in play, and a promising situation for Burnley comes to nothing with 54 minutes played on TalkSport 2, but the Clarets still leading by a goal to nil.
Yeah, Maatsen apologising there to Rodriguez, because like you say, if he can actually play it to probably the back foot of Rodriguez, he's one-on-one with O'Shea in that position. I just felt that too much on it, trying to be pin perfect with the pass, but like you say, just overhit it. Malumbu's body language, I don't know if he's carrying something, but at the minute he's not at it for me. You know, I don't know, he's never, even when he gave the ball away that created that Burnley attack, never broke his neck to kind of get back into position like he usually would.
And Kuzlu was furious there, the West Bromwich Albion holding midfield, because he had the ball, looked to the right, he was looking for Gardner Hickman to make that run in behind. He stayed where he was, and the Turk left him in no doubt that he wasn't too happy about that. But at the same time, Gardner Hickman saying, look, I've got Teller stood here, and if we lose the ball, he's in.
And to be fair, he's had a shift, hasn't he, Gardner Hickman, in a position that he's got to get very familiar with very, very quickly.
Now Brownhill, wide to the far side, and Vitinho. Roberts will take over once again and find Harwood Bellis. And Burnley at the moment are in control here at the start of the second half, leading by a goal to nil. The penalty from Jay Rodriguez. He scored 33 goals in 90 games for West Bromwich Albion, but it's his first in 11 games against the Baggies here tonight, on a ground where Vincent Kompany enjoyed so much success. Scored here for Manchester City back in August of 2015. 10 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat his record against West Bromwich Albion as a player, although in fairness, for much of that time Manchester City were towards the top of the Premier League, and Albion were often fighting for their lives at the bottom. Now Maatsen launches it wide to the far side, but Vitinho on the run, just unable to keep the ball in play. But West Bromwich Albion are forced back once again. It will be a throw-in 5 or 6 yards from the corner flag on the far side there left.
Well, he's got an excellent range of passing as well, Maatsen. You know, I think, yeah, always wanting the ball, fantastic first touch, good awareness, but when it's on to play, he can switch it as well. Excellent strike there. I think Vitinho has to be on his front foot and make sure he keeps that one alive, actually reacting to it rather than anticipating that ball from Maatsen.
Well, some untidy play on the far side, which ends up with a throw-in for West Bromwich Albion as Steve Bruce strides out towards the edge of his technical area once again. If it stays like this, it will be 8 points in 8 games at the start of the season as Bartley comes in from behind and slides into Jay Rodriguez, but he wins the ball and play continues. Dean Garner now wide to the far side and Swift inside the penalty area. Dean Garner now in support, but the cross was deflected kindly for Burnley. Roberts' lunge ends up seeing the ball bobble gently into the arms of Murrich.
Yeah, well, I think Dean Garner has
Bartley got none of the ball there. Sorry, we're watching the replay of the challenge on Rodriguez, and he got plenty of Rodriguez.
Yeah, you know what? When I seen it, I just thought it was a strong challenge. I did think there was contact with the ball. But I don't want you waving your phone in my face again. No, Nigel. No. So yeah, I'll go with whatever you say, my friend.
Don't get defensive, Chris. You're never good when you're defensive. Wallace now with a high ball into the penalty area. It's nodded down by Dean Garner, but there was no real conviction in the header and it bobbles wide.
Yeah, I think he's got to. He's got up there. He's read it well. He's watching it all the way. Not really any power on it, but I don't think it would have troubled Muric anyway. But again, he got up above everyone else. Dean Garner just couldn't really quite get it on target.
And the point about the penalty in the first half is, look, we've looked at it maybe 10 times on the phone, and the referee has one look, and that's it. Now Cork, James Linnington, it seems, made the right decision, although that will depend on who you support perhaps. Breaks down for Burnley on the far side. Here is Swift. Checks in field beyond the first challenge of Vitinho. He was then caught by Brownhill, and it will be a free kick, and Burnley at the moment are just breaking the game up at times with 1 or 2 technical fouls in areas a long way from their penalty area. But you can hear the West Bromwich Albion support getting behind their team. With 58 minutes played, they're a goal down, but they can understand that this is a time when their team really need them.
Yeah, and you know what, they've got a massive part to play. I never heard them singing like this when they were winning games, but weren't playing with the brand of football that the fans want them to play with, but they are. They've had great opportunities this evening.
Oh, Malumbi almost gave the ball away to Teller. Now Teller closes down Button outside the penalty area. It's a hurried ball wide to the far side and Townsend. Now it's launched forward looking for Grant, but Grant caught Harwood-Bellis before Harwood-Bellis used his hand to control the ball, and it will be a free kick to Burnley.
Yeah, I think Carl and Grant, there's no need to put any pressure on Harwood-Bellis, as in putting your hand on the back. They are good, intelligent play from Harwood-Bellis as well. Just as soon as he felt it, went to floor, went to ground, and the referee was up to speed as well.
And there will be a change for Burnley soon. Darko Chernilov, one of their summer signings, will be coming on, the North Macedonian international, signed from Stuttgart after they won the Bundesliga 2 title in the second tier in Germany. Almost given away on the far side again by Townsend. It was given away. Jay Rodriguez quickly forcing the error, and Burnley have the throw-in on the far side, and in their eagerness to get the ball forward, West Bromwich Albion, at times they are making errors which Burnley have the pace and know how to really exploit. Roberts will take the throw-in on the far side, down the line for Vitinho, and it's hooked back to Brownhill, but Swift almost wins it back for West Bromwich Albion. Roberts, though, does come away with the ball on the far side, and he's found Rodriguez laid into the path of Brownhill. Now further wide to the far side, and Vitinho back to Brownhill again, now inside the penalty area, square to Teller. Teller with a dummy, and eventually comes all the way across to Maatsen, and the ball is fired in over the top in the end. It was Josh Cullen who let fly, but he was always right underneath it.
Yeah, again, good play, isn't it, from Burnley? Imagination, movement was good. Teller had an awareness. Maatsen behind him. Just like you say, I think Josh Cullen, there wasn't many opportunities when he received it, probably 23-24 yards from goal in the central area. He's moved the ball to the left, never really struck it the way that he wanted with the connection, but again, they are using the ball a little bit better this second half. And saying that, Matson's just giving it away.
And now it's played wide to the far side by Swift. Townsend with the cross in, and the shot was scuffed at the near post. It was a real opportunity for Jed Wallace. 6 yards out, but he failed to get hold of it, and it's claimed by Murridge.
Well, again, it's another fantastic passage of play from West Brom. It's coming in. You know, Jed Wallace on his left foot there as well. All the pace was on the cross. Just try and pick a corner out and get a connection.
West Bromwich Albion still coming forward now, but Burnley just have more purpose in their attacks at times, and it breaks down once again. But Yakuzlu does manage to find Townsend as he wins it back. And West Brom have a throw-in on the far side. 62 minutes played, and Burnley are making a double change. And it's Nathan Teller who is coming off to be replaced by Chernilov. And Johan Berg Gudmundsson will also come on, and I'm sure that Taylor Gardner-Hickman, for one, along with everybody else of the West Bromwich Albion persuasion, will be keen to see the back of Nathan Teller.
Yeah, you know, I think it's been a difficult evening being asked to go out there and play, but like you say, I think he's brought a lot in the attacking third as well, with that energy, linking up with Jed Wallace.
And Chernilov applauds Teller. And the Burnley fans in great voice on the far side, and I'm sure that Vincent Kompany will appreciate the performance of his winger, and there is a handshake and a hug for him. And Johan Berg Gudmundsson will come on to replace Ian Matson. So changes on the left hand side for Burnley, and it looks as though Chernilov could operate down the left, and Johan Berg Gudmundsson will go out on the right. A high ball played towards this near side. In fact, it's Coutinho who has gone back to left back, as he did during Matson's absence following that red card against Blackpool. Now Chernilov, challenged by Gardner-Hickman, and Cullen all the way back towards the edge of his own penalty area, where Taylor will gather down the line for Rodriguez, who leaps to control the ball on his chest, and almost a dainty ball in field for Cork, but Cork has given the ball away to Yakuzlu, who bulldozes through the challenge of Cullen, wide towards Wallace, low into the penalty area. The challenge again from Cullen to ensure the ball didn't fall for Malumbi. And now Yakuzlu finding Gardner-Hickman once again. Chernilov, though, with the fresh legs and the green boots, stops the cross, and West Bromwich Albion will have to try again here. 64 minutes played. Burnley leading by a goal to nil, heading top of the championship as it stands on the home of the EFL TalkSport 2, thanks to a first half penalty from Jay Rodriguez. Now Button with a long ball forward, and the touch was off for Coutinho as he challenged Gardner-Hickman, and West Brom will have a throw in it. And at what stage does Steve Bruce take off either Yakuzlu or Malumbi and stick on another attacking player here?
Yeah, at the minute I think they're going a little bit more direct into the wide areas. They're having a little bit more success. There's been two fantastic opportunities for West Brom in the last probably 10 minutes, so you don't really want to change too much. Yeah, Burnley are still a threat when they use it, but they're just taking off two of the big players that are causing all sorts of problems down that left hand side. So I just try and see it out a little bit, I think, Steve Bruce. But here we go.
Now it's played down the line by Cullen. Chernilov in space down the Burnley left. He's got support in field. Chernilov may go himself. A low ball across the face of goal, and it's wide. He had the opportunity to play in Gudmundsson, who was clean through, but he took the opportunity on himself and failed to hit the target.
Well, there's two errors here, isn't it? Chernilov, I think he's got to play Gudmundsson in far earlier, because he's completely free in the centre earlier. Gudmundsson then has to not switch off and try and kind of read that cross, that short cross, and come in at the back area, and he's tapping it into an empty net. But just communication, both want to come on and make that positive impact.
Now Coutinho infield for Cork, for Burnley. So many new names in this team this season, but they're all having a positive effect on this Burnley team at the moment. But now Diangana does well to win it back from Cork on the edge of the penalty area. Again, the shot though is too close to Murridge. And he goes down on one knee and makes a comfortable claim.
Yeah, Dean Garner again alive to it. Pure touch from Jack Cork. And he's just scuffed his shot, hasn't he? I'm surprised he took it on, but he's kind of tried to toe poke it through Harwood Bellis's legs there, and yeah, there was no real power on the shot to trouble Muric there.
Jay Rodriguez with another clever knockdown on the halfway line. Cullen infield to Rodriguez again, who's given the room to turn and play it back to Cullen. Now Bertinho takes over down the left hand side. The ball in field is won well by Malumbi.
Yokozlo's had too many opportunities there. Jed Wallace he's made 2 or 3 runs this second half. Yokozlo sees it, and yeah, he's apologising to him now, but he's got to play that there, Nigel. He has to play it, because Jed Wallace has the full half to run into. He's already beaten the defensive line. He's got so much room for error with the forward pass to Yokozlo. He has to play it.
West Brom with only 3 defeats in 26 home games since relegation from the Premier League, but on the way to another one here at the midpoint of the second half, trailing by a goal to nil. Dean Garner though in a central area wriggles beyond the challenge of Chernlov, and he's then brought down by Cullen 25 yards from goal in the central area. It's taken quickly wide towards Wallace. I'm not sure Wallace appreciated the ball there, and with players like John Swift in their team, maybe West Bromwich Albion should have just taken a moment. Now Carl Bartley, and there will be a debut very soon for Brandon Thomas Asante. And there's a slip on the far side by Swift, but he gets back to his feet, wins the ball, and then also wins a free kick as he's hauled down by Connor Roberts, and it will be an opportunity for Swift to launch this ball into the penalty area.
Yeah, it's another one. I think there was 2 opportunities there. Roberts went through the back of him twice there, so he's lucky not to receive a yellow there, Roberts. But again, this is another opportunity with Swift. Just beat that first man, go and attack it. Defensive line is good.
John Swift over the free kick on the left. A right-footed in-swing headed away at the near post by Bertinho, and it will be a corner kick for West Bromwich Albion, their first of the second half.
See, I'd throw Thomas Asante on now. It causes all sorts of problems. Are the players concentrated? Do they know who they're picking up? Who's going off? Is it light for light? I'm surprised that Steve Bruce is waiting in this attacking third when a corner's coming in. They'll just put him on.
Swift with the corner, another outswinger high to the far post. Carl Bartley rising with a downward header, but he was reaching over the Burnley player, and as a result it lacked power or direction, and it's a goal kick.
He got up well, didn't he, Bartley, but then he was just he's up there. Yeah, it's a difficult header. But he looks frustrated, looking to the sky with himself looking.
And that was the final act for Carl Bartley. He makes his way off to be replaced by Brandon Thomas Asante, signed from Salford in League 2, and he comes on to make his debut in the Championship at the Hawthorns.
So Yokozlo's just dropping into, that's it. So they're going to a 4, but Yokozlo's going to right back, and Gardner Hickman's more advanced on the right hand side.
So it's almost 4-4-2. It's headed away by Dara O'Shea. 2 strikers on the field now. As Carlin Grant has got the opportunity to play in Thomas Asante on the far side, but he's been caught, and it will be another free kick. And Burnley at the moment just looking to manage this game and take time out of it, as Connor Roberts has shown a yellow card for the foul on Grant.
I think you're spot on there, Nigel. I think Carlin Grant should be playing in Thomas Asante, not allowing Rodriguez to come back and make that challenge.
Thomas Asante with 5 goals so far this season for Salford. Scored 13 last season, was also sent off twice. Can play on the edge. Swift with the free kick, high to the far post. Did Taylor rise to get a touch on that? Not according to the officials, it's a goal kick.
Well, talk to me about Jay Rodriguez here, because he was that aware of around him. He allows it to bounce. And I think if Jed Wallace just gambles in behind, he's getting a free effort, but Jay Rodriguez also knew that he could allow it to go out for a goal kick.
Jay Rodriguez, Burnley born, back at his hometown club after time with Southampton and West Bromwich Albion. Burnley almost give the ball away again. It's a hurry clearance though, forward over the top by Cullen, and now a mistake, and here is an opportunity to make it 2, but it's off the post. Chernilov clean through, guiding the ball beyond David Button, but it came back off the woodwork once again.
It's just Chernilov there. I think he's beaten the keeper, hasn't he? He's got in behind. So unlucky, isn't it? You know, David Button was left stranded there, come off the post, could have went anywhere inside of the post as well, Nigel.
18 minutes to play. Burnley leading by a goal to nil. They had the chance to seal it there. Gardner-Hickman with the cross into the penalty area. Appeals for handball from the Albion players. Nothing given, but they do have a throw-in on the far side, which Connor Townsend will take.
Well, no, fantastic ball in. I've got to say, I want more from Carlin Grant there. They don't allow the Burnley player to get in front and make that first contact.
Now it's flicked on by Thomas Asante. Hooked high into the penalty area by Swift at the far post. It'll be recovered by Dean Garner. He's got Gardner-Hickman in support, but Dean Garner does well to hold off the initial challenge of Vitinho. And it now comes back towards Gardner-Hickman, but he's facing his own goal. Back to O'Shea, who was the last man inside the centre circle. Now Yakuzlu playing out from the back to find Wallace on this near side, the right. Back to Yakuzlu once again. And Burnley just beginning to drop a bit deeper here and hold on to their lead, although Chernilov should have made it 2-0. Button slips as he clears right down the centre, headed away by Taylor, and now brought forward by Malumbi on the far side. Into Carlin Grant, and Malumbi once again has got Townsend offering the width on the left, but it's infield towards Yakuzlu. Now Gardner-Hickman down the line for Wallace, but well read by Vitinho, but he just treads on the ball and stumbles, and it will be a throw into West Brom, taken quickly. Thomas Asante inside the area, looking to hold off Harwood Bellis, but it's Cork who hooks the ball away, and it will be a throw into West Bromwich Albion on this near side. Yeah, you're looking at Vincent Kompany. You called it Burnley getting deeper and deeper, you know, protecting that lead, and it's a hard mindset to kind of get out of, you know, but Vincent Kompany telling them to get out, press, put pressure on the defensive players of West Brom and try and kind of step up the pitch every opportunity. But at the minute, look at this, there's no one near the likes of Dara O'Shea and Yakuzlu. Right down the line by Malumbi, but cut out by Vitinho, and the Burnley clearance was partially blocked. Here is Yakuzlu infield to Dara O'Shea. 16 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. The Merseyside derby coming up on TalkSport tomorrow at 12:30 as part of game day. Spurs against Fulham coming up on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock, with big championship games coming up on both Sunday and Monday on TalkSport 2 before the Champions League group stage winds into action. Download the TalkSport app and you can see all the live games coming up. Now Rodriguez coming forward for Burnley. He's got support from Chernilov to his right. Chernilov breaks into the penalty area, comes in field. Eventually the challenge comes in from O'Shea. Chernilov with a low cross in. Oh, that struck the hand of O'Shea. Chernilov appeals for the penalty, but the officials wave away the appeals. Now Wallace coming forward on this near side for West Bromwich Albion. Grant just holds his run as he makes his way to the right. Swift takes over. Here is Wallace now. Thomas Asante waiting inside the penalty area. Wallace manages to beat Vitinho but not Taylor, and it's a throw to West Brom on this near side. But should Burnley have had a penalty? Yeah, it had to be a penalty, because if it doesn't come off Dara O'Shea's hand, the cut back from Chernilov there, it's going to G. Rodriguez. You know, I'm trying to think, is Button going to come out and intercept that? But again, the referee... Doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Nigel. Now Yakuzlu. The arm was outstretched there from Dara O'Shea, although he was falling to the ground. And now Wallace slides into Taylor. The ball was heading out of play, and Wallace just took Taylor out as they both headed towards the byline. And there'll be a word from James Linnington, and I think that's a challenge born of frustration. Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, did he lose his foot in there? Because he apologised to the referee, but it came from absolutely nothing, wasn't it? It was just Jay Rodriguez applauds the Birmingham Road end, and then the Burnley fans as he makes his way off to be replaced by Ashley Barnes. And Jack Cork will also depart for Burnley, and Samuel Bastien, the Congolese international signed from Standard Liège, will come on to replace him. So fresh legs in the Burnley midfield as Josh Brownhill takes the captain's armband.
Yeah, again, it just shows you the quality and depth that they have. You know, explosive players coming on. Ashley Barnes, the experience that he's got, he's going to be an outlet, something that's been very lacking probably the last 10-15 minutes, because every time they're trying to clear their areas, Jay Rodriguez, the honesty in him, he's back doing his job defensively.
Bastien will operate on the left-hand side of midfield with Chernilov alongside Barnes and Goodmanson out on the right. Barnes wins a header with his first touch, finding Chernilov, looking to turn inside the penalty area. Chernilov holds it up for Goodmanson, but West Bromwich Albion are able to smuggle the ball away. Diangana heads it back towards his own goal, and Brownhill stoops in to find Bastien on this near side, the left. Now Vitinho. I must say, I like Vitinho. He can play in a number of positions on either side, and in the Championship that can be a very useful commodity. But he's given the ball away here, and it's played forward to Thomas Asante. Muric was right outside his penalty area, but Thomas Asante was offside anyway.
Well, the thing was, Thomas Asante wanted that ball from Jed Wallace a lot earlier. You know, he's so explosive that he had to then, watch this on the monitor, Nigel, he had to then slow it down and try and arc his run. The ball needed to be played back, and the thing is, Jed Wallace, he took a great first touch, but he had to do a lot of work to get to the ball. So Asante's probably went just a little bit too early. But look at that, it wasn't a million miles away from that one at all. Muric has come out, and to be fair, the collision was going to happen, but both of them pulled out of that one.
And Muric has now gone down, requiring treatment. It's not his shoulder, it's his right leg. There will be a double change now made by West Bromwich Albion with 11 minutes to play. Matt Phillips comes on. Jason Malumbi comes off to be replaced by Jake Livermore. And Taylor Gardner-Hickman was the other player to go off. And Matt Phillips making his 500th club appearance here tonight, the veteran Scottish international. And he'll be hoping it is not in the defeat, but that's the way it's heading.
Yeah.
Penalty from Jay Rodriguez in the first half.
Again, just experienced heads coming on, you know. Matt Phillips still got that power and energy down that right hand side. Again, plays a number of positions, you know, but I'm expecting just that end product and another presence from dead ball situations.
Well, basically now they have a back four with Phillips as the right back and Livermore just in front of them, and a yellow card for Charlie Taylor here for time wasting. The fourth for Burnley during this game. Barnes now looks to win an aerial duel with O'Shea, and it bobbles wide to the far side. Brownhill clips it over the top. Barnes in pursuit, headed away by Yakuzlu, but here is Vitinho with a low ball slid across, and it's claimed at the near post by Button.
Well, that's the things with Ashley Barnes, you know, even if he's not winning it, the West Brom defenders aren't either, and West Brom they're gambling in behind, and they're picking up that free ball. So he just causes all sorts of problems. The defenders know they're in a game. Even with that little one of Vitinho, you can see him, his frustration that he's not gambled across the front of Button there.
Burnley have now scored 14 goals this season, level with Sheffield United. Only 2 of them have been from set pieces, including the one tonight from Jay Rodriguez. And now Muric is down again, but he quickly gets back to his feet as David Button hurries the goal kick to get the ball back in play. Wallace with the ball down the line for Phillips on this near side, the right. Thomas Asante makes the run to the near post, headed behind by Taylor. It's a corner to West Bromwich Albion with 9 minutes to play, and Muric has gone down yet again.
Yeah, I think he's struggling with the right leg.
I think he stretched when he challenged Thomas Asante when he came out of his penalty area a few moments ago.
Yeah, he missed the ball altogether as well, so maybe that plays a part. I also think it's just a little bit of time wasting here as well, which doesn't do you any really favours, you know. Well, we saw that the other night, didn't we? Yeah, exactly.
Liverpool Newcastle
exactly.
game.
exactly. So again, it's
Bailey Peacock-Farrell is coming on by the looks of it for the second successive game. The Northern Ireland international is getting changed here very quickly beneath us. It was a shoulder injury which saw Barry Murich go off on Tuesday against Millwall, and it looks to be a problem with the right ankle tonight. Maybe he was just caught by Thomas Asante as well as he slid in looking for that ball.
Yeah, there was a coming together. They're checking the mobility of his right knee, so I don't know if he's came down wrongly on it.
Well, Peacock-Farrell is ready to come on, and Murich is coming off. So this will be a test for Bailey Peacock-Farrell, facing a corner. And you don't often see goalkeepers come on in back-to-back games, but it's happening here for Burnley.
So I changed this now, I think it's John Swift that's on the corner. I'll go and put a lefty out there, swing it right on top of him and say, look, have a bit of that,
Well, Peacock-Farrell, very experienced international goalkeeper, of course, was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday in League One last season. Favours the short sleeves, and John Swift will take an out-swinging corner into the 6-yard area, headed away. Livermore on the stretch with a shot just wide, and Peacock-Farrell watched that. He was nowhere near it, and Jake Livermore so close to the equalising goal.
That's another massive opportunity, isn't it? He has to stretch for it just to try and make contact. You know what? I think if it's on target, I think the defence, there's two defenders there that's getting a touch on it. It's went wide because that was the path that was free. I think the goal was covered there.
And Peacock-Farrell just lingering over this goal kick with 6.5 minutes to play, and then Barnes tangles with Yakuzlu, and it will be a free kick for West Bromwich Albion. And they need to get on with things here, trailing by a 0-0 at this stage. They would take their 6th draw in 8 games to start the season. Now Phillips, infield for Livermore. Diangana, square towards Livermore again, but yet again Steve Bruce can come out and say, look, we've not played that badly, but we've not taken our chances.
You can't keep saying it, Nigel. It's one of them, what's this? It's 5 draws, this will be the 2nd defeat, but come on. Performances have been good. Again, created many chances tonight, but you can't keep coming in and saying it. The players have to win. They have to do it for themselves. They can't go and say, all right, we're sitting here with another defeat, or only a point when we've been dominant.
Now Swift with a cross, high to this near side, the right, and Phillips. Phillips had the opportunity to cross, but checks back high towards the far post now, nodded back across the face of goal, but there was too much air in the header from Townsend, and it's harmlessly dropped behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Phillips had opportunity to put it in first time. As soon as he take it, it wasn't a bad ball that was in. Townsend was up very early. He's trying to hang just to try and put it back across, but couldn't get any accuracy or purchase on that ball coming in.
Well, West Brom will be staying in the Midlands for the next 2 games, away to Coventry and at home to Birmingham. 2 big games coming up for Burnley, at home to Norwich next Friday, live on TalkSport 2, and then in the following midweek they make the short trip to Deepdale to face Preston North End. Will Preston have conceded a goal by then? Now Taylor under pressure from Wallace, plays it all the way back to Peacock-Farrell. A long clearance from him, taken down on the chest by Townsend, and Townsend was challenged by Goodmanson. Goodmanson is the player who's gone down and stayed down, but West Bromwich Albion have the ball, and they are keen to continue here. Swift on the far side, the left. Early cross into the penalty area. Wallace is there, unmarked. Wallace with a shot. Oh, what a challenge! A goal-saving challenge from Charlie Taylor when Wallace seems certain to make it 1-1.
That's a great first touch from Wallace as well. Just kept it alive. Charlie Taylor sees the danger. What a block that is. Shouldn't be able to make it. Fred Wallace, he's got in behind, and a little bit behind. What a challenge. Should not make that there, Taylor. If anything, it's a little bit behind Jed Wallace's touch. opportunities, Nigel. They've definitely created chance after chance this evening, West Brom.
Dean Garner is on the corner on this near side. It will be an in-swinger with the left foot. 3.5 minutes to play. Burnley leading by a goal to nil on TalkSport 2. Dean Garner whips the penalty in high to the far post, and the corner, and I should say, and in the end there was some pushing by Yakuzlu, and it's a free kick.
Well, again, it's a soft one as well, isn't it? You know, wasn't a bad ball from Dean Garner. I look at this. Oh, I tell you what, it's a sore one on Goodmanson as well from Townsend. He's cleared the ball, but watch the coming together. He comes down, right down the lower shin and onto the top of the foot. That's a real sore one.
Well, Vincent Kompany is still in animated conversation with Bobby Madley, the fourth official. But Burnley here are closing in on a victory which will take them top of the table, leading by a goal to nil. And it would be a very unwelcome East Lancashire double for Steve Bruce. Defeats this season to Blackburn and Burnley in the opening weeks, and they will be in the lower reaches of the table. Steve Bruce had to basically tear up the blueprint left for him by Valerian Ismail. So much new blood as well, but at the moment they are not winning football matches. Phillips nods down. Strong challenge by Livermore on Chernilov, and we can hear the yelp of pain from the North Macedonian from here. But now Chernilov is very quickly back on his feet because Bastion has the ball and he gives it to Chernilov. Chernilov in full flight towards the edge of the penalty area. He's taken down by Yakuzlu, and it's a free kick. Well, I'm not sure if it was Chernilov or Lazarus there.
You're spot on. He's got up, hasn't he? He's limping about, then all of a sudden he's went into full pelt, took on 3-4 players, wins an excellent free kick, 24 yards from goal, but you're spot on, Nigel.
Well, it's a free kick for Burnley as they look to seal the deal here. As we tick towards the 90th minute, Brownhill and Goodmanson are over it. Brownhill already has 4 goals this season, his best scoring season for Burnley already. He's never scored more than 5 in a season throughout his career. It'll be Brownhill with the right foot or Goodmanson with the left foot. It's Goodmanson with the left foot, and it's over the top. And it took a deflection on the way through, and Burnley have a corner. And very soon West Bromwich Albion will be living off added time in this game.
I tell you what, it wasn't far away as well. It needed a contact from the wall there. Wall done its job. You can even see the reaction of Brownhill as well from the Goodmanson effort.
West Bromwich Albion fans now leaving in their droves, and those who are left are very frustrated at what they deem to be time wasting from Burnley. The corner will be played short here to Goodmanson by Brownhill. Goodmanson doesn't opt to stay by the corner flag, and eventually he's taken out by Livermore, an experienced player who maybe should have known better, and it's a free kick for Burnley once again.
Yeah, I think the frustration there, I think was a genuine attempt, but I think Goodmanson just had a little bit of trickery around when the ball got past it.
A minimum of 8 added minutes. Well, we've had 1 or 2 stoppages, but I think that James Linnington has just had enough of Burnley slowing the game down.
Well, I think they'll set a precedent. There's no point in doing it. Just play the game. All this staying down and asking for the ref to come on, physios to come on. No rest should do it.
Phillips will take a throw in for West Bromwich Albion on this near side. Headed away by Cullen into the crowd beneath us, and it will be another opportunity for West Brom to try and get the ball forward. Phillips is forced back a couple of yards by the referee. And we can hear the Burnley fans away to our right, urging their team on. We've had a minute of the minimum of 8 added here. O'Shea plays it long and high towards this near side. Phillips is underneath it, nods it down the line, but it's behind Wallace and straight out of play for a throw into Burnley.
Well, I don't know what he's doing. It's a great ball as well. Just take it on your chest. There's no one near you. You don't have to give it to Jed Wallace first time. Take it on your chest, drive forward, commit your man, and then you release Wallace.
Throw in which will be taken by Nathan Teller. Coutinho, I should say, down the line and cleared away by Phillips straight out of play, and it will be another throw-in as Vincent Kompany continues to cajole his team. Steve Bruce just wants someone to get the ball back. It's on the field of play, and in the end the ball boy is Brandon Thomas Asante, and Coutinho will take the throw-in on this near side. And at the moment Burnley have done a good job of winding down 2 minutes of added time without too much happening here. In towards Goodmanson. Goodmanson though with a heavy challenge on Wallace, and it will be a free kick, and Cullen has tried to win the ball back, and it was part of the West Brom backroom team which actually got the ball back from him. He's told to calm down from Bobby Bradley. Yakuzlu with a high ball forward once again, nodded down by Barnes across his own penalty area. Volley clear by Goodmanson. Chernlov is there, but Yakuzlu rises to head the ball away and now brings it forward for West Brom down the left. He's got support from Townsend. It's infield though to O'Shea, and now Swift. Diangana takes over. Phillips in space to the right now. Phillips with the early cross into the penalty area, deflected behind by the shoulder of Goodmanson. It's a corner.
Yeah, a little bit more action down this right hand side. I think Phillips, he has to be better with the cross as well. You know, put it in there. He's allowing the player to come in and block that cross. It has to be better. He had so much time to get the cross in.
Swift with the corner, high to the far post, nodded down. Yakuzlu with the header which was blocked, and then the follow-up effort from Dara O'Shea was looked too precise from here, and that was also scramble clear. And we played nearly 3.5 minutes of added time, and it's still 1-0 to Burnley.
Well, this is an excellent header. You know, it was definitely going. Is it off the feet? Taylor again. He's just blocked. I think he's actually blocked it with his chest and neck and chin there. The header from Yakuzlu.
Diangana does well to play it back to O'Shea, the last man for West Brom on the halfway line. Wide towards Phillips again. He's got support from Swift in field. Phillips comes in field himself, but the low ball is cut out by Vitinho. And here is Yakuzlu, wide to Diangana on the left-hand side. Now Townsend, and Burnley just happy to sit in here and see what West Brom can do. And it's cut out by Harwood Bellis and played wide by Chernlov to this near side, and Bastion will now find Cullen. And Burnley here do have a threat on the break, and it's played forward by Vitinho, and Barnes brings it down on his chest, wriggles away from two challenges, and then under pressure hammers it high over the crossbar.
Well, it's a fantastic bit of skill, isn't it? Takes it on the chest, ball from Vitinho there, takes it on the chest and then just lifts it over to, I don't understand why he's went with so much power. Just hit the target there. That's the question, the button. Excellent bit of skill from Ashley Barnes.
3 minutes of added time to play. Swift with a high ball forward, headed away by Roberts. Cleared as far as Townsend on the halfway line. Now Yakuzlu for West Bromwich Albion. Wide to this near side, and Wallace. And all the way back towards Button. Burnley here doing a very good job of just trying to suffocate the options for West Brom. Now a high ball played forward, nodded in field. Diangana brings it down on the edge of the penalty area. Swift further wide towards Phillips. Needs to be an early cross, but it's back towards Swift. Low into the near post, cleared as far as Swift once again. But it's very congested in there. Swift now finding Phillips. Phillips looks for Wallace, but the pass is behind him and straight out of play. And if you're a West Bromwich Albion fan, that's agony.
Yeah, it is. You know, I think Phillips' ball has to come in, cross again, just cross it first time. He's came back to Wallace, and then there the pass to Wallace was behind him. He can't do nothing about it. He just wants it, little deft pass, but he can just take it and cross it first time there, Wallace.
Burnley fans claiming they're top of the league, but they still have some work to do. Diangana, but it's hooked away by Harwood Bellis, nodded forward again. Harwood Bellis with another header away. Then Chernlov heads it forward, and O'Shea will go all the way back towards Button. We have played 96 minutes. Button with a high ball forward. Swift beaten to it by Taylor in the air, but Wallace gathers now for West Brom. He's got Diangana very close to him, And now O'Shea finds Diangana on this near side, the right, all left foot of course. Now Phillips. The home crowd urging West Brom to get the ball into the penalty area. Diangana works the 1-2 and he could be in here around the back. A back heel will find Phillips. Phillips with a crossing opportunity. High towards the far post. It's nodded clear by Goodmanson. Burnley want a free kick, but here is O'Shea. O'Shea will look to hit the byline. He's now got support on his outside. The cross high to the penalty area. Thomas Asante rising. Nodded further away though by Taylor. Now Swift with the cross back into the 6-yard area. Oh, it's Thomas Asante! And Thomas Asante has scored on his debut. And West Bromwich Albion have equalised in the 98th minute. And the man side from Salford sparks delirium inside the Hawthorns. And Bernley are denied a place at the top of the championship right at the very end. Brandon Thomas Asante is the hero of the Black Country. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Burnley 1.
Well, just couldn't delete, clear the area, cross after cross, kept alive at the back post area. You know what? Asante Thomas just alive, knew exactly where the goal was, anticipated it. I tell you what, fantastic finishing through the roof of the net as well. Debut goal, the reaction of Steve Bruce as well was excellent.
Well, it was actually Connor Roberts who teed him up. The ball hit him at the far post and Thomas Asante was alive to the possibility, lunged in, and delight for Steve Bruce right at the very end. West Bromwich Albion have found the equalising goal.
Well, you did say as well, didn't you, Nigel, the time wasting, the minutes?
Yeah. But Burnley coming forward now themselves with Bastien, but he's quickly challenged by Livermore and the ball spins out on the far side. And we are heading towards 100 minutes here. We're into the 99th minute. 1-1 at the Hawthorns. It's happened very late, and that is it. And the West Bromwich Albion fans can celebrate. They believe they have a point they deserve, thanks to the new man on his debut, Brandon Thomas Asante, with an equaliser in the 8th minute of added time to deny Burnley, who led for so long. They were heading top of the championship table, but their decision to try and slow the game down and time waste in the second half really cost them. The added time was hefty and West Bromwich Albion were able to capitalise. It's finished. West Bromwich Albion 1, Burnley 1.